Hi there. This week I'm going to be talking about mentorship powers as well as the Patriot Act and what happens to civil liberties when a nation feels under attack. In the case of a terrorist attack, governments often expand their power from national security in order to protect the nation. But when they do that, that's when civil liberties are compromised. Emergency powers. What are those? Special authorities that are granted to the executive branch, meaning the president during times of crisis, war, terrorism, or a national disaster. For example, there's martial law, which would effectively be the president having all the power and being able to do a lot of stuff that he wouldn't be able to do so otherwise, and having way more power than he usually would. The martial law, which he would be the one to declare, can't just be taken away from him either. Congress can suggest that it should be, but until he says we're done, they're not done, which would effectively be kind of a dictatorship. Things would be shaped and work the way he or she, as a president, would deem fit. So, under the US Constitution, what can the Congress do? They can pass laws that expand the executive authority during those emergencies, and they also have the power to declare war. But interesting thing is, the president can, for example, drone strike and not have an active war because a lot of those countries won't want to engage with a military as big as the US. Therefore, they can kind of just be allowed to attack at least some parts of that. So, what else can the Congress do? It has the power in those times. It has the power to expand its investigatory abilities, which means they can infringe on your privacy, which means they can ask any company, like, let me see the recordings, the pictures, the footage of that person. And they don't really have to inform you either. For example, Google, or as was said in the lecture, the O-ring cameras that were just advertised in the Super Bowl. They can just ask for that footage, and if the person says no, they can go to the company and ask for it, which is really disturbing and disgusting that they actually have the power and ability to do that. Whereas where's the sense of privacy? That is infringing on civil rights. That is infringing on individual rights. That is destroying any type of privacy someone can have, especially without them being alerted. If the company was to say, "Hey, they're gonna be reviewing your footage," we're just letting you know. But they're not doing that. Instead, they're just passing along the information, and they can you can even be framed from it if the president, for example, sees something that he deems unfit. For example, you just said something in your personal life that would not sound great if it was said aloud, and the president didn't like that, and he deems you as a terrorist because what you said maybe was extreme and of a terrorist nature, and now you're framed for having a personal opinion, which is your First Amendment right, but it is destroyed completely when that expands. And they can do that through a national security letter, which doesn't need to be approved by a judge and actually is superior to the judge. So they don't even need a letter. They don't need anything in order to have access to that. It's preposterous, and there should be laws against that. I find it really disturbing and disgusting the fact that we're able to allow that, especially especially in times like this, where if we let someone take over and exercise martial law, then it would be really difficult to put those civil liberties back to the way they used to be because a lot of things can change. Congress can change a lot of laws, and it can change them in a way where they can't be restored, not in the way they used to be. So I'll be shortly talking about the U.S. Patriot Act, which was passed after 9/11, weeks after the 9/11 attacks. It stands for uniting and strengthening American by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorist attacks. So, its main goal is to expand the federal government and its ability to detect and prevent terrorism, which is another power that is given upon the government: surveillance powers, roving wiretaps, and access to business records, which interconnects to the whole thing about presidents being able to, not just presidents, the government in general, being able to see what you're doing, how you're doing it, what you're saying, when you're saying it, without any concern over what privacy is. That's it for this week. Thank you.